This is Damon Stevens. Federal Bullers. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022, the stock market update for trades of the day. So hopefully everybody did well today on this little sell-off as the pressure keeps coming in. And we also have the run up to this core CPI number on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So it's critical time right now to set the tone for the market. Are we going to continue heading down and heading down maybe towards the lows again? Or are we going to get a little pop up here and get some positive news? That's what we're looking for tomorrow morning. So be careful out there. If you're trading, make sure that you're prepared to watch for the direction of the market before you get in. And you can see here as we get into the charts here that the Dow Jones closed down 1.95%, Nasdaq down 2.48%, and S&P 500 down 2.08%. And our heat map, you can see red across the board pretty much. Meta had a nice little pop here, but everything is starting to sell off here. We also had MAC that hit low volume, but 200%. This one just kind of went up there and it's just flat. So this was not really a trade. We don't know if anybody captured that one, but definitely was not a trade on that one. Looking at the news coming in. So this is what's coming in tomorrow morning. So we get the CPI numbers. So that's going to give us some information, some direction on the market. That's coming at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So whatever this number comes in is going to kind of have effect on which direction the market heads. So just be aware of that. We also have initial jobless claims coming in. So a lot of news coming in before the market opens. It's really going to set the tone for kind of how things are happening. Then we have continued news about the economy coming in the morning, late morning, afternoon. And then Friday is Veterans Day holiday. And so not a lot to expect on Friday, but the market definitely is going to decide how it wants to close this week out. So just something to be aware of. And if you're looking at the S&P 500 stocks that are above the 50-day moving average, which typically above the 50-day, more bullish. Below is more bearish. You can see that we did top out here, pulled back off of November 1st, and then kind of got this tail candle here, and then we've got a little reversal coming down. So, do we continue pulling down here? That's what will be decided tomorrow morning. Do we have these stocks retreat? As you can see here, typically when we've hit this peak, there has been a pullback. And this was kind of an unusual peak right here. Unusually high peak as far as bullish runs. And this was our run back in August. So just something to be aware of tomorrow. We're either going to start getting this pullback here again, as we have in the past, or, we get a reversal and this, accelerates to the upside. Looking at this is a comparison 2007, 2008, where we had this nice little run up, a peak, pull down, break the 20, break the 50, now down to 100. And right now you can see that we came up, we pulled back down, broke the 20, hit the 50 a couple times now, pulled back up, could not get over the 20, and we've been just grinding back down low again. So do we come back here and tag this 50-day or even collapse below it? If we do, then then we're starting to see more of a repeat of that 2007, 2008 decline, which means the 100-day moving average is going to possibly be in play. So just something that I'm keeping an eye on as we look into this market here. Also, inflation rate still high. We're looking this to be under 8 tomorrow. So we'll see. Right now we're at 820s was the last reading. You can see here, even back here in 2007, 2008, 5.6 was the high before we started pulling back. And so we have a long way to go to catch up. Also, if you look at Fed fund rate, now they did put an increase in, and they're expecting to be about, up to 5 or even higher. You see back in 2007, 2008, that peak was 5.26%. They're thinking it could be possibly higher. So until the Fed fund rate comes in line with inflation rate, we're going to continue seeing this bear market play out here. And also see, record number of people shorting the market. This measures back to 2000. You see continue to short this market. So definitely a lot of bears out there. If you look at the SPY on put, so the red's put contracts, the green is buy contracts or call contracts. You can see the puts, huge volume here at 364, expecting the market to come to 364 range. and then even a larger amount at 350. So you can see that definitely those shorts are in here in the marketplace. You can see the ratio is about a little bit over 2 to 1 of institutions or people short in this market right now. If you haven't, checked out our channel before, definitely subscribe to it. FinWealth Live is our YouTube channel, and that way you can continue to get this content, which hopefully is helpful for you and also provides a little bit of training along the way as well. We also have a non-member chat and a daily watch list. You can also join here on finwealthlive.com, and also a dashboard here of other services that are available for those who are looking to get some additional assistance. We got some additional charts here. You can see ExxonMobil pulling back here. So we had this huge bull run up here. We finally got a little bit of pullback here. It's not quite to the 20-day. It just looks like it's trying to bounce here. But, very well could come down to this 107 area and hopefully find support, bounce off, or maybe even come down to this original high. But you see here that, this was kind of the neckline here. We broke out above it. So how much do we retrace? Hard to say. We could come back clear down here to 103. But looking, for probably some information tomorrow, some news to help us out on deciding where this is going to go. Netflix, obviously came down, filled that gap, popped back up, and checking back in again on this 50-day. So depending on the news tomorrow, we're back here at this last support level. So this should provide some support. You can see these two pivots here for a bounce, but a lot of this will depend on what that CPI number is tomorrow. Same with Apple. Apple, started to try to pull back up here, hit the resistance line, came back down. So we're kind of at this critical support level, and if we break it, look for new lows to come in and additional downside on the market, including Amazon. Amazon, you see very weak here, pretty new lows in as well. So is this the time that we kind of get that big push to the bottom, put a new bottom in, and then maybe hopefully get a rally out of this year? So that's to be seen. A lot of it depends on what's coming out here with the the final numbers on the elections race and also on CPI. Nvidia had a nice little pullback up here, nice little run up here, came back down, tagging support right here. So we'll see again. You see all these pivots across the board that's holding this market up, and so it's right on the edge. So it can easily collapse down to new lows here, depending on what the outcome of some of these new numbers come out in an inflation rate. See here also in Tesla come down to the bottom of this channel. It just kind of grinds down here towards the lows. So if we break this, this deviation band here, 153 could come into play. If we do break that, now you're looking at possibly 140, 120 on the Tesla. On Microsoft, you see here, just continue to gradually grind down, even with these little pull-ups. Microsoft's come in and has actually continued to put lows in. So we came up here, found resistance. It looks like we're pulling back. So again, things are looking really weak for tomorrow. Google, same thing. A little bit of a pullback here, a little curl, possibly back down to the downside here. 10-year yield pulled back here. Does it bounce from here and come back up? If it does, the market's definitely gonna react to that as well. On the negative side, if this pops back up here. Same with the 2-year yield. The 2-year yield kind of flattened out, pulled back here. Again, probably waiting for information tomorrow to help it decide what to do. US dollar came down here, finally showed some weakness and pulled back to this little channel. So if the dollar, bounces tomorrow, that's going to bring the market down. If we can continue to see lows here on the dollar, that's going to help gold rally. And you see here gold just sitting here under that 100-day moving average, just kind of consolidating in a bull flag. So we got to get above this 1716 to break out. If not, you see last time we were up in this area, we kind of broke down. So if we can't break up here, obviously you're going to probably see some type of pullback again. VIX spiking up here. So this is where, it kind of had support here for a few days and it's broke up. This does not get back below this 200 and get back below 25. The markets, very well could pull back here and the VIX could spike up here. So looking for that movement as well. So keep an eye on the SPY on the VIX in the morning as the news comes out. SPY on 18 8-hour chart, you'll see it's a nice little grind and kind of consolidation, and we're coming into this little tight wedge here. So looking for, either a break of this wedge to the downside or consolidation here and a break to the upside. So that's where we're looking for that news. But you see that little squeeze is going on right now. On triple Qs, squeeze as well. So it's coming right into this little wedge. So it's kind of at decision point right now. IWM. Now IWM is actually showing that it broke to the downside of the wedge. So if we were following IWM and saying this is going to show us a pattern, it's looking like it's already got a head start and it's kind of broke that wedge to the downside. So keep an eye on that. Unless this pops back up and maybe it's a fake out and a fake breakout and it breaks back up to the upside, it's kind of showing the signs here. So is XLF. So financials flowing down here. So you can see that it's right here at the bottom of this wedge. So I'm really kind of looking for some direction on, which way this is going to break in the morning. The Bitcoin, boy, lots of bad news about FTX out here, and boy, it really took a hammer to Bitcoin. So you can see Bitcoin just blew right through all these support levels down here and tagged almost 15.6. Now it's popped back up here around 16,000, but boy, bad news just really caused this to drop. And so gotta be careful. Obviously in the market the way it is right now, we obviously are, more in a bear market. Ethereum, same thing, pulled back down. It did come down to these levels here, the lows here, 800, 900, 1,000. But, we did come pretty down close here. We came down here, right, close to, just under 1,100. And we did a bounce. So as long as we stay above this line here, maybe we can rally back up towards the highs here. But right now, this huge reaction down is not providing good support right now unless it uses these little pivots here to get some momentum to hold this area. Also, some additional news will probably come out, about what's going on with Binance and FTX and some of the other these exchanges that are in the news. So just something to be careful with right now. Obviously, you can see relief bounce probably coming in to the market depending on what the news is. So this is definitely a knee-jerk reaction to the news. Sometimes you get the knee-jerk reaction the next day it starts to come back up, but no guarantees, because if the news continues to be bad or there's criminal activity going on, you might see additional pullback here, or even if the CPI number is bad. So that's our stocks or crypto things we're looking at. Careful trading out there. Definitely watch the news in the morning and listen to what's going on in the market. That way you kind of know what's going on and get a game plan. And again, I'll try to post some numbers out there for you in the morning. That way you can kind of see what we're looking at just before the market opens there, nice and early in the morning. Everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.